Hi guys, it's JLite here, and today I'm going to be taking some underrated small girl groups and giving them to big companies. So basically, I'm going to be taking girl groups based on their concept, their music, their vocals, and their dance. I'm going to be giving them to big companies like Big Hit, YG, JYP, and what you may call it, SM, and I'm going to be giving them to other companies like Starship Entertainment, Woolham Entertainment, possibly DSP Media, I'm not sure, and Aping's company, which is Playam Entertainment. So I'm going to be giving them to these stable and big companies. And I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope that you sub to me because I'll be releasing more videos soon. I'll be releasing more parts to my favorite underrated and underappreciated English songs, so stay tuned. And I'll be releasing more videos soon. So let's get into the video. So the first group on this list is Busters, and I gave them to Cube Entertainment mainly because of the fact that Busters are diverse in their music, just like G Idol are diverse in their music and come back with a new concept each comeback, and Cube really does amazingly doing that. I gave Busters to Cube Entertainment because of this, because Busters are also diverse in their music from the songs that I've heard of Busters. Like Busters debuted with the song Dream On, which was a productive concept. They debuted under Marbling and JTG Entertainment, if you're wondering. So Busters debuted with Dream On, which was a more fun, productive, really super energetic kind of a concept. Like you would say, like Weekly, Stag Me, and Zigzag, like Weekly kind of a group. They debuted with that kind of concept, like super fun, energetic, and tiring. And then they had a comeback. I don't know if this is their first comeback or their second comeback, but they had a comeback song with Grapes, and that was a more mellow, chill kind of a concept with a nice beat, and it was a more calmer concept than their debut song. Then they had songs like Pinky Promise, which was a comeback that was super fun and super, catchy and it was a massive bop. Like the MV was so good and everything about it was so amazing. And then they had their last comeback in 2020, because after that comeback they didn't have any comebacks as yet. Up till now they haven't had a comeback. So their last comeback in 2020 was Paonia, which was like an EDM kind of a concept. I don't know what concept would you call it exactly, but it had a really nice beat drop and it had like a really nice vibe to it. So they have made different songs each comeback, and their songs are different. I haven't listened to the B sides of theirs, and I know there are B sides because I checked them up on Spotify and stuff. But I haven't listened to any of the B sides. But from the MVs I've seen of them, they've had different songs each comeback. So that's why I thought of giving them to Cube, because Cube has really, done well with G Idol's diversity and giving them different concepts each comeback. So I thought that giving Busters to Cube would really help them with their diverse concepts, because they do diverse concepts every time they come back, and it's amazing. And I know that Cube is a piece of shit and is a really bad company, but I'm doing a video where I give underrated small company girl groups to big companies, and Cube is a big company, so that's why I did it mainly because of how they help G Idol with their diversity. That's why I gave Busters to Cube. So the next group on this list are actually two girl groups. One is QoS, that is Queens of Sound, that debuted under VT Entertainment in 2020 with Miracle. They are heavily underrated. Then there's the disbanded group, the Singing Girls, that debuted under I don't know which company and I don't know their debut song. But I think they debuted in 2016, I'm not sure. But after the Singing Girls, they rebranded into Melody Pink and released one song that was Hey You before disbanding due to COVID problems, leading them to disband because of financial struggles. So QoS and the Singing Girls, I gave them to SM Entertainment, and I gave them to SM Entertainment mainly because their vocals are outstanding, and both these groups can harmonize so well together, because since SM focuses on vocals along with visuals and focuses on, like, the members singing together in the chorus, this wouldn't be a problem to QoS and the Singing Girls, because both these groups have really nice looking members, really visually beautiful and gorgeous. And they also, both these groups harmonize so well that it wouldn't be a problem for them to, follow the vocal styles of SM. Let's take QoS first. QoS debuted with Miracle, then they had a second song which wasn't a comeback, but was just an extra song they released called Find a Way FAW. So both these songs are really vocally amazing, and QoS have three members: Sully, Tara, and Nikki. Nikki is the rapper, but she is so amazing as a vocalist. She's like Moonbyul. Moonbyul is a rapper in Mamamoo but can sing. And Moonbyul also has that sort of a male style in her clothing and stuff. Nikki is also similar to Moonbyul because Nikki also, has that sort of a male style. She doesn't like necessarily look like a man or is a tomboy, but she has that sort of a male style, and you would think that she's like a man or something, but she's not. So basically, QoS debuted with Miracles and they had a song Find a Way. So Miracle was such a heavenly song, and VT Entertainment did really well on both songs. Even though with Find a Way you could hear there was a bunch of autotune in the song, you could really hear that Sulhi has a really nice voice and has a really, really nice high notish type of a voice. And as for Tara, she can really hit a high note, not like super hard type of a high note, but she has like a really nice growl type of a high note. So if you like listen to Find a Way, you can hear how amazing their vocals are. And QoS even do covers, like English song covers and K-pop song covers. They've done covers of Hua's English version, Sweet Melody by Little Mix, and Luna's Star, which is the English version of Voice. And in that, they've harmonized so well, it made me fall in love with them even more. And as for the singing girls, because because the singing girls' song This Night, and This Night featuring Yuri, which was a version featuring a soloist named Yuri, was so amazing, I forgot to check out any of their songs before they rebranded into Melody Pink and then further disbanding. Like the singing girls is This Night, and This Night featuring Yuri was so amazingly done by the company, being a small company. The high notes, the harmonizing, everything was done so amazingly. And the singing girls only have one live performance of the singing girls is This Night, which featured Yuri. And in Yuri's version, the rap part is removed and they have like a singing part, while in the original they have a rap part. And Ruki is also such an amazing rapper, and Ruki can even sing. She raps and she sings, so she's like another Moonbyul, but she has a more powerful voice. So, in conclusion, QoS and the singing girls have such amazing vocals. They have the soft vocals in the group, they have the soft vocalists in the group, they have the powerful vocalists in the group, and they all sing so amazingly, both these groups, that if they debuted under SM, they would totally become popular because they have powerful vocalists, soft vocalists, amazing rappers, amazingly produced songs by these small companies, and they even harmonize together. So if this doesn't give me any more of a reason to give them to SM, then I will think of more reasons to give them to SM, because these are the main reasons I think they would do amazingly with SM. And I'm sorry that this specific this specific girl group opinion thing was long. So the next girl group on this list are actually two girl groups. The first girl group is Salty, that debuted under Probeat Entertainment in 2016 with the song Curveball. They were going to disband after Curveball, but luckily they didn't, and they released a bunch more songs before they disbanded. And the other girl group is Ice, that debuted in 2015 with Over You under HS Entertainment. They had four members at debut, I believe, and now they only have three. So Salty released, I only heard Salty's songs Curveball and Girls, Bad Girls or Girls, and Ice have released three songs, which are Shameless, Over You, the debut song, and the latest comeback of 2021, I believe, which is Oh My God, which was three members since one member left. And I give Ice and Salty to YG Entertainment, mainly because Salty and Ice are more girl crushing kind of a group, and they would fit YG so well because Salty are like a girl crush kind of a group. They have girl crush songs. With their songs, Bad Girl was a more girl crush song, and for Ice, they have a more mature type of a concept with the girl crush in it. Like Shame Over You was a mature concept song, and Shameless was more of a girl crushy, powerful kind of a song, but it was mature also. And their latest comeback, Oh My God, was a girl crush song. So that's why I gave these two groups to YG, because YG is really amazing when doing girl crush and when doing like other concepts like mature. Because if you look at Blackpink, Blackpink have had like girl crush concepts like, you know, Bumbaya and Kill This Love and Do 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 and How You Like That and Pretty Savage. And then they've had some like one to mature concepts, like if you look at the song Love to Hate Me, which is like an R&B, I think you can say, type of concept, I'm not sure, but it was a little bit more mature. And then they have like Ice Cream, which was a mature concept. So like me giving Salty and Ice to YG was actually a really brilliant idea for me, because they do girl crush, and then I used to like mature type of songs too, and giving them to YG would be amazing, because YG is really well when doing girl crush and like, you know, dark boy crush, but they also are well in doing other concepts too if they did it well, like Blackpink did As If It's Your Last, and 21 did like the EDM style, and Icon did songs like Killing Me and cute songs like Love Scenario, and they did songs like Dive and YYY. So that's the main reason I gave Salty and Ice to YG, because I've heard their songs and I know they would perfectly fit YG. They have the charisma, they have the energy, they have amazing rappers and vocalists, and since YG are focused on, and since YG have such amazing performers and stuff, you know, have such iconic performers, that Salty and Ice would be amazing performers as well, and they wouldn't like take away from the YG style, since the songs they released under their respective companies are also perfect enough for YG to release, and it would be amazing to see them under YG Entertainment. So the next girl group on this list is Sis, that is S.I.S, and they debuted under XX Entertainment with the song I've Got a Feeling, and I believe they debuted in 2017, I'm not sure. So Sis have the more angelic, fun, cute, upbeat, magical type of a concept, and since a lot of popular groups and even underrated groups follow that concept and style, I was kind of confused on which company to give them. Like a lot of popular groups like A-Pink, even though they do mature concepts now, did angelic concepts in the past. Then there's groups like Is One, Oh My Girl, Twice, and then there's underrated groups like Lovelies, Dream Note, April, STU, Very Good, Lime Soda, I believe did it once upon a time, and ADE. And because of this, I was kind of confused on which popular big company to give Sis to, and then after much thinking, I gave Sis to Playam Entertainment. I gave Sis to Playam Entertainment mainly because A Pink once upon a time used to do the cute and fun concepts, and because A-Pink did songs like No 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 and Five and a bunch of other songs I don't remember. And even though they do mature concepts now, they still did these concepts in the past. And then Weekly do the more energetic, fun, upbeat kind of a concept, but they still have the cute style to them. And the boy group Victin, even though Victin do boy crush concepts a lot of the time, they debuted with a cute song and a fun song, and they have like some more calmer, chill songs and more beautiful songs in their discography too. And because of these three groups, I decided to put Sis in Playam Entertainment, because Sis have the angelic concepts and Playam know how to work with angelic concepts, given A-Pink and Playam knows how to work with cute concepts too, given that Sis have also released cute concept songs. And because of this, I decided to give Sis to a Playam Entertainment. Like, Sis debuted with I Got a Feeling, which was a more calmer, chill song, and it was an angelic song, but it was a much more nice, calm, chill, really beautiful kind of a song. And then Sis had songs like Always Be Your Girl, which was a more hard hitting angelic song with a nice louder beat and a really beautiful MV. And then Sis had songs like Say Yes, which is a more catchy, cute, upbeat kind of a song. And then Sis had a more ballady kind of a song, more acoustic ballad type of a song, which was Don't Wait, which was like a electric guitar type of a song. And since they had these type of angelic, cute, fun, upbeat kind of a songs, I decided to put them in Playam Entertainment, since Playam Entertainment is familiar with this type of concept. And they debuted two groups that have done these concepts and one group that have done songs of the concept. And since Playam Entertainment have done more of this concept, I believe that Sis would fit well in the company. I haven't seen Sis hit any high notes or powerful notes, but I've seen Sis hit some really good notes, and they have such nice, chill vocals, and they're all such amazing vocalists, and they have such nice cute voices that I wanted to put them in Playam Entertainment because they are super cute, they're super adorable, and like they also do concepts that Playam Entertainment is familiar with. So this is the main reason I gave it them to Playam Entertainment, only because the concepts are similar to the groups in Playam Entertainment, and that Playam Entertainment could literally give them the same concepts and do it well, and they could pull it off well because Playam Entertainment knows how to give them these concepts. That's why I gave it them to Playam Entertainment. So the next girl group is Girlkind, and they debuted under Next Level Entertainment in 2018 on my birthday in 2018 with the song Fancy. And the reason I said they debuted on my birthday is because Girlkind are my ultimate underrated girl group. And Girlkind are the most underrated, I repeat, the most underrated dancers ever in K-pop. And because of how amazing and how well they dance as compared to other underrated girl groups, I decided to give them to JYP, mainly because of the fact that JYP have such amazing groups, and JYP have such iconic dances and choreographies for their groups. So I thought that giving Girlkind to JYP Entertainment would be amazing, because in Girlkind, Zaeyoon, Ellen, and Medic Jin can sing really well. Even though they don't have powerful vocals, they still can sing really well. And then there's Sanjay and JK. JK is a really amazing rapper. She's my ultimate underrated rapper. And Sanjay, even though Sanjay doesn't sing well for me, I don't think she sings well for me. She can still sing, but I feel like she's more cut out to be a rapper. Sanjay's on a hiatus for studies right now, and it's not confirmed whether she'll come back to the group or no after studies are over. But I feel like Sanjay is more of a Lisa, meaning that she can sing. Lisa can sing, but Lisa's more cut out to be a rapper. So I feel like that's what Sanjay's thing is. So the main reason I gave Girlkind to JYP was because of their how amazing Girlkind dances, and Girlkind could get iconic choreographies and stuff, and it would be amazing. Like Girlkind debuted with the song Fancy, and Fancy gives off such an itzy type of a vibe. Like Fancy is the type of song that you go like we're fancy and this and that. So itzy's concept is more like we are ourselves and we don't care what other people think, and that's what I believe Fancy is also about. Fancy is like that. Then they released their comeback song, which was Sorry, which was a more summer vibe, and um, Twice released the song More and More, so kind of it's similar. And then Girlkind had a comeback in 2020 with Future, and then they had an R&B comeback after that in the ending of 2020 with Psycho for You. And JYP would be really good in giving these type of concepts like the Future and R&B concept. So Girlkind are really diverse in their discography too, and I feel like because some of these concepts that Girlkind do are similar to the concepts that different JYP artists and groups do, Girlkind would fit amazingly in the company also because how amazingly they dance, and also because of how their concepts suit the groups in JYP and would suit them too. Like Girlkind debuting under JYP would really be amazing because they would have super amazing and hard choreographies. Like the closest to a hard choreography I feel like Girlkind have had was their debut song Fancy, because after that they've had songs like Sorry and Future and Psycho for You, and then Zaeyoon had a solo song with Vibe On, and JK had a solo song with Split and Island, and JK and Zaeyoon debuted in the subunit and released songs Money Talk and All You Want. And even with Money Talks and All You Want, the choreographies weren't that hard. So I feel like if they debuted under JYP, they would get iconic and hard choreographies because they really need an iconic and hard choreography like Fancy. Like pre-debut, they were hyped up a lot, and then when people viewed their comeback, their debut song, it's now almost close to 1 million. So they're super underrated, and I feel like if they debuted under JYP, they could do amazing dances and iconic dances under JYP, and the company would really give them such amazing hard dances. They would give them such amazing songs, and literally they would fit perfectly in JYP, mainly because of their dancing. This is the main reason I gave them to JYP, only because of their dancing. So the next girl group on this list is We Girls, and this group was literally the hardest to pick a company for, and I was thinking of what company to put them in because I really wanted to add them in this video, and then I finally thought of a company. I chose Blockberry Creative, which is Luna's company. I chose this mainly because of how different the concepts are of We Girls and how Luna's concept has changed. So basically, We Girls debuted with the song On Air in 2018 under Aftermoon Entertainment with 8 or 9 members, I'm not sure. And On Air is like a mixture of cute and girl crush. Like the verses were cute, the pre chorus was cute with Ellie's rap, and then the beat drop came and it was like girl crushy a little bit, and then the post chorus was cute. And then they had a comeback with Ride in 2019, which was a summer comeback. And then they released a B-side MV in the ending of 2019, which was a Heartbeat, which was the song MV for Heartbeat, which was a cute song. And like I was literally confirmed that they should be under they should be under Luna's company because their debut song had girl crush vibes to it, and then they released the song Ride, which was a summer song which had some angelic vibes to it, I could tell, and then they released the cute song of Heartbeat, which is also amazing since Luna released Hi Hi, and then they released the subunit song Love Forever. And since Luna released cute songs along with girl crush songs, I thought V Girls would be amazing because V Girls also have released B-sides like Time to Go, and Time to Go was a more, fun EDM type of a song, like a catchy EDM song. And so I was thinking of putting them in Blockberry Creative mainly because they have similar concepts to Luna, like they did a cute song and they did a sort of a girl crush song. So this was the main reason I put them in Blockberry Creative, not because of anything else. And because even and also we girls have really nice vocalists and Ellie is such a good rapper. And if like Blockberry train them and give them each a solo pre-debut and then got the fans to know them, they would literally get popular because even though their dancing is not that spectacular, they are really amazing when it comes to dancing. Like Aftermoon Entertainment is one of my favorite underrated small companies because they really know how to give good songs, good choreographies, and good enough MVs to V Girls. And I was literally mad when someone said that V Girls' Heartbeat MV was low quality when it wasn't. So Aftermoon Entertainment is really doing well for V Girls, and I wouldn't want V Girls to go to any other company. I just want to come back for them. I'm really sad because they haven't had a comeback yet. But this video was just made for fun. So that's why I gave V Girls to Blockberry Creative, mainly because of how similar the concepts are to Luna and how well they would fit in Blockberry Creative. That's why I gave them to Blockberry Creative. So the next girl group on this list is Girl Crush, and they debuted under Dharm Entertainment in 2019 with the mature, seductive K-pop song Memories. And Memories is a super sexy K-pop song that whenever someone watches it, they think that it might be the Stellar situation, thinking they may be forced into doing the sexy concept because of the fact that they expose themselves in the MV, meaning that they show their undergarments in some parts of the MV and stuff, and the MV is super sexy and mature. That is put under the community guidelines that you must be a certain age to watch it. But luckily, Girl Crush loved doing the sexy concept, and the group was formed by one of the members and their friends. And as of 2021, one of the members, Yona, left the group, and they promote as only three, as in Bomi, Terry, and Zia only promote. And I think I've heard this, I'm not sure. Dharm Entertainment is run by a woman, so it makes it even more easier for them because it's run by a woman. And Dharm Entertainment have had two other mature groups before Girl Crush, that was ICIA and Switchberry. So it's like the sexy concept is a thing for Dharm Entertainment. And I was wondering which company to give Girl Crush to, whether to give it to Starship Entertainment because Starship has had sister mature group, or FNC Entertainment because FNC have had AOA. So what I did was I decided to give Girl Crush to FNC Entertainment instead of Starship because Sister were literally called the Queens of Summer, and they mostly had happy, fun, upbeat, mature songs. But like Memories is a more dark and seductive kind of a K-pop song, mature K-pop song. That Sister, I've only had two dark, mature K-pop songs, that is Alone, and I like that. But besides that, their songs have been more happy, fun, and upbeat. So that's why I decided to give them to FNC Entertainment because AOA have had the dark, seductive, mature K-pop songs more than the happy ones. Like they've had Like a Cat and Miniskirt and plenty of other dark, mature K-pop songs that are more seductive and stuff. And I thought Girl Crush would fit amazingly in FNC. Like FNC could tone down the sexiness on Girl Crush and they would still do amazing. Because they have a lot of scenes and stuff in the MV that cannot be aired live, and they'll have to change a lot of the moves when performing live. They must have done that because I haven't seen much live performances of Memories. but like it seemed normal from whatever I was watching from the live performances. So that's why I thought of giving them to FNC, because their song is a more dark and a seductive kind of a mature K-pop song and not a happy upbeat one. So that's why I thought that they would fit well in FNC Entertainment, because AOA also done the mature concept, but the similar type of mature concept that they did, a dark and seductive one. That's why. And if like Girl Crush debuted in um, FNC Entertainment, they could really do well as a mature concept group and they could be as popular as AOA. But like I really love Dharma Entertainment, because Dharma Entertainment tried their best and gave them a really nice MV and a really beautifully shot MV and a really amazing song. And so I think Dharma Entertainment is doing pretty well in managing Girl Crush. Even though Girl Crush haven't had a comeback yet, I'm still hopeful that Girl Crush would have a comeback and they would do well. So that's why I was thinking maybe FNC could really do well with them, because they are familiar with the mature concept and they could really help Girl Crush improve their mature concept and make them less sexy and stuff. So the final girl group on this list is Precious, and Precious debuted with Bebe. That's their only song they have had so far. And I don't know the company they debuted under, but they debuted with Bebe in 2020. And they are a girl crush focus group. And I was trying to find a group for Big Hit to give, like I was trying to find a girl group to give Big Hit, and I was thinking long and hard of which girl group to give Big Hit, because when it comes to this boy crush and girl crush concepts, Big Hit really know how to pull it off amazingly. Like when they gave BTS Fire, Not Today and No More Dream, I did not like those songs because I'm not in ARMY, but I still listen to some BTS songs, and that's BTS's more vocal songs and more beautiful songs and more upbeat songs. I'm not a fan of girl crush and boy crush unless it's done well. So Big Hit are really amazingly when it comes to boy crush. As I said, No More Dream and Not Today and Fire, these type of songs. So I was trying to pick up the perfect girl group for Big Hit, and after thinking long and hard, I thought of Precious, and I was like, yes, Precious would fit really well with Big Hit, because their debut song was done so amazingly. It's a whole storyline. The MV quality is that of a super high budgeted group. The MV was done really well. It has a whole storyline to it. The rappers in the group are amazing. The vocalist in the group. The beat drop was nice and chill. It wasn't too hard hitting. Everything about this song was so iconic and so amazing that I thought Big Hit would really, really do amazing with them. The company really debuted an amazing girl group with amazing dance skills and amazing raps, amazing vocals, and an amazing song. Now, literally, Precious in the starting of the MV had a whole fight scene. And knowing Big Hit really likes to go all out in an MV for a group. Like if you take BTS's Idol, or if you take ENHYPEN's debut, or if you take a TXT song like TXT's Crown, all those have had amazing effects and editing. And with Precious in their company, they could have a new girl group, and they would get over this scandal, and they would have a girl group in the company, and the scandal that they had once before that led them to not have a girl group would be done, and they would have such an amazing and iconic and such a perfect girl group in their company. It would be amazing. Like I really loved Precious's debut. It wasn't my top number one debut, but it was still amazing, and the way they pulled off the girl crush and concept was amazing, and it was so perfectly done, so well done. I was so happy. So I think that Precious would fit Big Hit Entertainment, mainly not only because they do the girl crush concept amazingly, but also because of how well they pulled off the girl crush concept as compared to other groups like Ice and Salty, who were in the previous parts of this video. Like they, I think, are my favorite girl crush pulling concept underrated girl group. They are the top number one girl group, underrated. And that's why I put them in Big Hit, because Big Hit would really give them some amazing comebacks and such amazing songs. And I think that if they won the Big Hit, they would do well. But the company already is doing really well for them, giving them a lot of dance covers and stuff to upload. And really, I hope for a comeback from Precious, because I really want to see where their comeback goes and if it's as iconic as their debut song. So please stand Precious, stand all the girl groups in this video. So guys, that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope that you sub to me, because I'll be releasing more videos soon, as I said in the intro. And I hope that you stand all these girl groups and so that you can check out their music. And then I hope you stand more underrated girl groups from small companies, because a lot of the girl groups from small companies have produced amazing songs and are disbanded now, but there are a lot of groups that still promote, and all of them produce amazing songs. If you all want a list of amazing girl groups to stand from small companies, I can give you all a whole list of promoting and disbanded groups. So please give your support to these girl groups, and please support every single girl group and boy group that comes into K-pop, whether they're good or bad, so that they can gain some popularity and get better at their music and dancing and singing abilities, and that you can, give them all your support and love. So thank you and bye, and cue outro.